25 years later, old woman Fedorovna found their photograph under the floorboards. Young and happy, they were embracing in front of a train. On the back, in faded ink, was written, "Andrei and Lena, July 1990. On our way to happiness." At that moment, in the next room, investigator Voronov was questioning her husband. August 2015. The village of Berezovka. Mikhail Stepanovich Voronov stood in the middle of a ruined barn. The dust had not yet settled after the wall collapsed. Workers found it by accident. They demolished the wrong building. "Yegor Kuzmich, explain again. Why did you keep these things?" The old man was silent. His huge pig, weighing 300 kilograms, grunted in the pen. It was a rare Siberian breed, of which there were almost none left. Before we begin the story, please write which city you are from. We are very interested in where you are watching our video from. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave your rating. "I don't know whose things these are," Tarasov finally blurted out. Voronov looked at the table. 2 wedding rings, a Zenit camera with film inside, a woman's handbag with documents in the name of Elena Sokolova, and a diary. "You don't know? Then why did you turn pale when you saw them?" Tarasov turned away toward the window. Rain was beginning to fall outside. July 1990. Taishet Station. Andrei Sokolov helped his wife down the train steps. Elena smiled, holding her light summer dress. Their honeymoon. Finally. "Look how beautiful it is." She pointed to the taiga beyond the station. "It's still 100 kilometers to Berezovka. Your Aunt Klava promised to meet us." But no one was waiting for them on the platform. Only a drunk tractor driver, Petka Melnikov, was dozing on a bench, and an old man with a cart was loading sacks of mixed feed. "Young people, where are you going?" the old man called out to them. Andrei turned around. A strong man of about 50, tanned, in a faded quilted jacket. "We're going to Berezovka, to the Kazantsevs, on Lesnaya Street." The old man smiled strangely. "The Kazantsevs have left. They went to the city a week ago. I'm Yegor Tarasov, a local. I can give you a ride if you need it." Elena exchanged glances with her husband. Her aunt hadn't said anything about leaving. "Maybe we should look for a hotel," suggested Andrei. "What hotel?" Tarasov waved his hand. "There's nothing here except a barracks for seasonal workers. Come to my place. You can spend the night there and figure things out tomorrow." The investigator's office. 2015. Voronov leafed through the yellowed pages of the diary. Elena Sokolova's handwriting was neat, like a teacher's. July 14th. Arrived in Taishet. Aunt Klava didn't meet us. A strange man offered us a ride. Andrei agreed. "I don't like this Tarasov. He looks at me in a way. I can't explain it." July 15th. We spent the night at Tarasov's. The house is large but neglected. He lives alone. His wife died a long time ago. There is someone else upstairs. I heard footsteps. Tarasov said it was the wind, but I definitely heard footsteps. The last entry was cut off mid-sentence. July 16th, morning. Andrei went to the village to look for transportation. Tarasov is acting strangely. He knows my maiden name, even though I didn't tell him. He said, "You were Petrova, weren't you?" How did he? Then there were blank pages. "Yegor Kuzmich," Voronov looked up at the old man. "What happened on July 16th?" "I don't remember. It was a long time ago." "Why does the diary stop there?" "How should I know? I can't read." That was a lie. The investigator saw a stack of newspapers on Tarasov's desk. Interrogation of witnesses. Pyotr Melnikov sat on a hard bench and sweated. In 1991, he had already been questioned about this case. They let him go then. "Pyotr Ivanovich, try to remember again. Did you see a young couple at the station?" "Yes, I did. They were beautiful, city people. What happened next? Tarasov took them away, in his cart. And then? Melnikov hesitated. He wiped his forehead with his sleeve. Then I saw them again, at night. Voronov leaned forward. This wasn't in the old case file. Where exactly? In Tarasov's yard. I was walking by. Well, I'd been drinking. They were standing by the shed. The girl was crying. What happened next? I don't know. I left. I was afraid Tarasov would see me. Why were you afraid? Melnikov licked his dry lips. Tarasov? He's strange, especially after his wife died. People said he wasn't right in the head. And also, what else? He had a brother, Ivan, but that's just a rumor, probably. What rumor? They said Ivan was in a mental hospital for murder. Then he escaped. But Tarasov told everyone that his brother had died. Photos from the film. The lab developed the film from the Zenit camera that was found. 36 frames. The first 10 were typical tourist photos. Andrei and Elena by the train on the platform with the forest in the background. The 11th frame showed them with Tarasov at his house. The old man was smiling, but his eyes were cold. The 12th frame showed the interior of the house. Old furniture, dusty curtains. The 13th frame made Voronov shudder. On the stairs leading to the second floor, someone's shadow was visible. The figure of a person? Who is that? The investigator pointed to the photo. Tarasov was silent for a long time. I don't know. Did anyone else live in your house? No, I live alone. The 14th frame shows Elena sitting at the table, fear on her face. She is looking somewhere off camera. The 15th is blurry, as if the camera had been dropped. From the 16th to the 35th, they are black, either overexposed or taken in the dark. The last, 36th frame. Voronov showed it to Tarasov. The old man turned even paler. The photo was of Tarasov himself, asleep. The picture was taken at night with a flash, and the most terrifying thing was that he was tied up with ropes. Is that you? Yes. Who tied you up? I don't remember. Who took this picture? Silence. The Kazantsevs, secret Klavdia Kazantseva, a 70-year-old woman, sat in her Moscow apartment and cried. I didn't know. I swear I didn't know that Lenotchka was coming. But you're her aunt. She wrote to you. She did, but I replied that we were leaving. The letter must not have arrived. The mail service was bad back then. Why did you leave so suddenly? Klavdia wiped away her tears. My husband got a job in the city. It was urgent. We packed up in 2 days. Did you know Tarasov? Of course, the whole village knew him. He raised pigs. His wife died in 1985, in a car accident. How did she die? She was hit by a car, a drunk driver. After that, Yegor changed. He became withdrawn. He avoided people. Voronov made a note in his notebook. Did you hear about his brother? Claudia frowned. Ivan, he died, back in the 80s. Are you sure? Yegor himself said so. He even showed us the death certificate. Night search. The second floor of Tarasov's house had been locked for 25 years. They had to break down the door. The room turned out to be inhabited. The bed was made. There were dishes on the table. Everything was covered with a thick layer of dust. They found men's clothes in the closet, and photographs. Voronov looked at the pictures. 2 boys, very similar. Twins? Is that you and your brother? Tarasov nodded. Where is Ivan now? He's dead? When? In 2010. And where was he in 1990? The old man turned away. Another document was found in the desk drawer, a certificate from a psychiatric hospital. Tarasov Ivan Kuzmich. Diagnosis: paranoid schizophrenia, prone to aggression, poses a danger. Date of discharge: never. The patient was to remain in the hospital for life. Yegor Kuzmich, Did your brother escape from the hospital? Silence. Did he live with you? Silence. Was he here when the Sokolovs arrived? Tarasov covered his face with his hands. Neighbor's testimony. Old woman Fyodorovna lived across the street from Tarasov. That night I heard screams, a woman's voice, then silence. Why didn't you call the police? Who should I call? The local police officer was in the district center, 100 kilometers away. And I thought, maybe I imagined it. What happened in the morning? I saw Tarasov. He was loading something onto a cart. It was covered with a tarp. Where did he go? Towards the forest. He has an old shed there, for haymaking. Voronov wrote down the coordinates of the shed. Did you see the young couple again? No, but... What? Fedorovna hesitated. A week later, Tarasov brought a new pig. A big one. He said he bought it, but he didn't say who he bought it from. And where did he get the money? He lived poorly. A discovery at the shed. The metal detector beeped near the old cellar. They dug carefully. First they found a belt, a man's belt with a metal buckle. Then a woman's watch, a Soviet Chaika. Yegor Kuzmich. Voronov held the finds in a bag. Do you recognize these things? No. And this? The investigator took out a new bag. Inside was a piece of a dress, the same summer dress Elena was wearing in the photo. Tarasov was silent. His pig in the pen began to grunt restlessly. It was as if it sensed something. Where are the bodies, Yegor Kuzmich? I don't know. Did your brother kill them? Ivan died in 2010. That's not what I'm asking. In 1990, did he kill the Sokolovs? The old man looked up. There was a strange mixture of pain and relief in his eyes. I want a lawyer. Psychiatric Hospital Archives. Ivan Tarasov's case was kept in the archives. Voronov read it and couldn't believe his eyes. The patient was admitted in 1985 after murdering his neighbor. The motive was that he mistook her for his mother, who had died 10 years earlier. Hallucinations. Does not recognize his relatives. 1988. Attempted escape. Attacked a nurse. Tied him up with ropes and photographed him. 1990. April. Escape. The search was unsuccessful. 3 months. Ivan escaped 3 months before the Sokolovs arrived, the last interrogation of the first day. Yegor Kuzmich, where did you hide your brother? The lawyer tried to intervene, but Tarasov waved his hand. On the second floor. Why didn't you turn him in to the police? He's my brother. He's sick. I thought I could handle it. What happened that night? Tarasov looked out the window. The sun was setting behind the glass. I gave them a room downstairs. I locked Ivan upstairs, but he got out. At night. And? I don't know. In the morning, I found him in the basement, with a camera. He was muttering something about his mother. Where were the Sokolovs? I don't know. You don't know? I looked everywhere. I only found their things, and blood in the shed. Why didn't you report it? The old man smiled bitterly. Who would believe me? My brother is a fugitive psychopath. I have a motive. My wife died because of a drunk driver. And Elena's father was the investigator who closed the case. Voronov shuddered. That detail wasn't in the files. How did you know her maiden name? Petrova? I saw it in her passport. I recognized it right away. Investigator Petrov, the one who let my wife's killer go. Pyotr Melnikov had been in a holding cell for 3 days. He was arrested after Andrei Sokolov's gold chain was found during a search. I didn't kill her, he shouted during questioning. I found her in the forest. Voronov studied the protocols from 1990. Melnikov had also been a suspect then, but he had been released. There wasn't enough evidence. Pyotr Ivanovich, tell me more. Where exactly did you find it? Near an old clearing, about 5 kilometers from Tarasov's farm. When? A week after they disappeared, maybe 10 days. Why didn't you turn it in to the police? Melnikov lowered his head. I thought I'd sell it. I was completely broke. I was on a binge. What else did you see that night, besides the crying girl? A light on the second floor, even though Tarasov told everyone that no one lived there. And a shadow in the window. Someone was rushing around. Back and forth, back and forth. Voronov made a note. Ivan Tarasov in a state of psychosis? And in the morning? In the morning I saw Tarasov with a shovel. He was coming from the pigsty. New evidence. The forensic experts had been working for 3 days. They dismantled Tarasov's house, literally board by board. Mikhail Stepanovich, the young expert climbed out of the crawl space. We found it. Voronov climbed down the rickety ladder. Metal glinted in the beam of his flashlight. A knife, a hunting knife with a bone handle. Blood? Looks like it. We'll send it for analysis. But the most important find awaited them in the barn. They discovered a hiding place under the floorboards, and in it was Andrei Sokolov's notebook. The last entries were made in haste, the handwriting trembling. The old man has gone mad. He locked us in. He says we have to pay for his wife. Lena is panicking. Someone is upstairs. I can hear footsteps. Tarasov says it's the wind. He's lying. Night. Someone is trying to open the door. Lena is asleep. I'm afraid to wake her. Last entry. He came in. It's not Tarasov. He looks like him, but he's younger. His eyes are crazy. He has ropes in his hands. Lena. The text breaks off there. There are stains on the page. An examination later determines that they are the blood of 2 people. Interrogation of Fyodorovna. The old woman remembered another detail. There was a thunderstorm on July 17th. I remember because lightning struck my barn. And I saw Tarasov in the rain. He was dragging something heavy to his car. Did he have a car? An old Gaz 51, all rusty. Then he sold it, quickly, somehow. A week later, it was gone. Voronov found a buyer. Grigory Somov, a mechanic from a neighboring village. He had long since dismantled the car for parts, but he remembered something. The body was strange, washed to a shine, even though the car was all rusty, and the smell. What smell? Chlorine, as if he had poured liters of it on. Psychiatrist's testimony, Dr. Werner, an 80-year-old German, was the chief physician of a mental hospital in the 1990s. Ivan Tarasov was my patient for 5 years, a difficult case. What was wrong with him? Paranoid schizophrenia with hallucinations. The disorder developed after his mother's death. He saw her in other women. Was he dangerous? Extremely. In 1985, he killed a neighbor, mistaking her for his mother. He strangled her with his hands. Why wasn't he isolated more securely? Werner sighed. It was 1990, the collapse. No funding, not enough staff. He just left. We didn't even notice right away. Did Yegor know about the escape? We told him. He said his brother wouldn't come to him, that they were fighting. Were they? No. Yegor visited Ivan every month. He loved his brother very much. He felt guilty. Why guilty? As a child, Yegor didn't protect Ivan from their father. He beat the younger one. He beat him badly. Perhaps that triggered the illness. A witness from the past, Anna Krylova, a former nurse at a mental hospital, now lived in a nursing home. Ivan Tarasov? I remember him. He was usually quiet. But when he had an episode, what did he do? He took photographs. It was a strange obsession. He stole cameras from the staff. He photographed everyone. Why? He said he was gathering evidence, that everyone around him was a demon in disguise, and he had to expose them. Voronov remembered 36 frames. The last 20 were dark. Or did he develop the film? No, he just took pictures, sometimes without film. The main thing was the process. And what about those he considered demons? Anna's face darkened. He attacked them. He tied them up. Once he almost strangled a nurse. He said she stole his mother's face. Exhumation. Ivan Tarasov's grave was opened in the old cemetery. The coffin was there, but inside were stones. Only stones. Yegor sat in the detention center, pale as death. Where is my brother's body? I cremated him, scattered his ashes. Why did you fake the grave? People had to think he was buried. Otherwise, questions would have started. When did he really die? Tarasov was silent for a long time. Then he said quietly, on July 17th, 1990. Voronov felt a chill run down his spine. On the night the Sokolovs disappeared? Yes. How? Heart? He had a heart defect. He had an attack. After the murder? I don't know if he killed them, Tarasov suddenly shouted. I found him in the basement in the morning. Dead. There was a camera next to him, and blood on his hands. Blood analysis. The examination yielded an unexpected result. The blood on the knife belonged to 3 people: Andrei Sokolov, Elena Sokolova, and Ivan Tarasov. Did he wound himself? The expert shook his head. Judging by the nature of the marks, someone else wounded him. Defensive cuts on his hands. Was Sokolov defending himself? Possibly, but there's something else strange. Even Tarasov's blood is on top of the couple's blood. It's as if he was wounded later. Voronov thought for a moment. If Ivan attacked the Sokolovs, they defended themselves and wounded him. But then where are the bodies? A new witness. A man who had been silent for 25 years came forward. Vasily Ignatov, a former forester. I saw Tarasov that night, in the forest. He was digging a hole. Why did you keep quiet? He threatened me. He said that if I opened my mouth, my family would suffer. I had a little daughter. What exactly did you see? A hole, a deep one, and 2 bundles next to it, in canvas. Bodies? I don't know. I didn't unwrap them. But the shape? Human? Where was it? Ignatov pointed on the map. Square 73. Voronov had already sent a team there. They found nothing. Are you sure about the location? Yes, there are 3 pine trees standing in a triangle. It's an accurate landmark. Re-examination. The metal detectors worked all day. By evening, they found an anomaly. They dug carefully. At a depth of 2 meters, fabric appeared. Tarpaulin, decayed by time. They unwrapped it. Bones, human bones, and the remains of clothing. 2? Yes, confirmed the expert. A man and a woman. The ages match. But then something strange happened. Upon closer inspection, they found a 3rd skeleton, male, approximately the same age. 3 bodies. Voronov didn't understand. That's right. 2 died from stab wounds. The 3rd. What about the 3rd? No signs of violence, possibly natural causes. Genetic testing. The DNA analysis took 3 days. The results were shocking. The first skeleton was Andrei Sokolov. The second was Elena Sokolova. The third. It's not Ivan Tarasov, the expert announced. Not related to the Tarasovs at all. Then who is it? An unknown man, Slavic type, age 25, 30. Voronov reviewed the case. 3 bodies, 2 identified. The 3rd was a mystery. Check the missing persons from the summer of '90. They found a match. Nikolai Volkov, 27 years old, disappeared in July 1990. A vagrant, an alcoholic. No one was looking for him. A new twist. They had been questioning Tarasov for 4 hours. Who is Nikolai Volkov? The old man flinched. I don't know. His body is in the same grave, next to the Sokolovs. That can't be. Why? Tarasov was silent, then quietly. Because Nikolai Volkov is me. Voronov was taken aback. What? I'm not Yegor Tarasov. I'm Nikolai Volkov. I forged my documents in 1990. Why? Yegor is dead. He died on July 17th. I took his place. But people knew Yegor. I'm his cousin. We look alike. And after that night, I changed. I aged in a week. No one recognized me. Confusion of identities. Old photographs confirmed that Yegor Tarasov and Nikolai Volkov really did look alike, like brothers. Tell me what really happened. Volkov, no longer Tarasov, sat slumped over. I came to Yegor's on July 15th, drunk, to ask for money. He let me in, but he warned me, Ivan is upstairs, don't go there. And? On the 16th, some young people arrived. Yegor gave them a room. And at night, what happened at night? Ivan got out. I was asleep, drunk. I woke up to screams. Yegor was running with a knife. He was shouting, he's killing them. Then, we went down to the basement. There, blood. Ivan over the bodies, a camera in his hands, taking pictures of them. What did Yegor do? He threw himself at his brother, tried to drag him away. Maybe he thought they were still alive. Even stabbed him, with a knife, in the heart. Volkov covered his face with his hands. Yegor fell, and Ivan. He suddenly came to his senses. He saw what he had done. He grabbed his heart and fell too. A heart attack. Did they both die? Yes, in 5 minutes I was left alone with 4 corpses. The motive for the substitution. Why didn't you call the police? I was scared. I had a criminal record. Minor, but still. Who would believe an alcoholic? And you decided to become Yegor? Yes, I buried all 3 of them. I cremated Ivan separately later, and I changed the documents. How? In the 90s, it was easy. Chaos. They stamped a bottle at the village council. And the Sokolovs' belongings? I hid them. I didn't know what to do with them. I was afraid to throw them away. What if someone found them? Why did you sell the car? The bloodstains wouldn't wash off. I poured bleach on them, but it didn't help. Voronov looked at the man who had lived someone else's life for a quarter of a century. Where did you get the pig? I bought it with Yegor's money. He had been saving up. I thought I would raise pigs like him. I would become a real Yegor. Checking the alibi. The investigators checked every detail of Volkov's story. The village council confirmed that documents had indeed been changed in August 1990. A fire had destroyed part of the archive. Neighbors recalled that Yegor had changed after July. They explained this as shock from the disappearance of the lodgers. He drank at first. He drank heavily. Then he quit. He became silent. The crematorium confirmed that in September 1990, Tarasov cremated the body. He said he was a distant relative. But the main question remained. Nikolai, or Yegor? What should we call you? It doesn't matter anymore. Why didn't you bury Yegor under his name? Volkov looked out the window. Because he killed them, not Ivan. Yegor. Voronov froze. What? I lied. Ivan didn't kill the Sokolovs. Yegor did. Truth or a new lie? Why did you lie? I wanted to protect his memory. He was a good man. But when I found out who Elena's father was... Investigator Petrov? Yes, the one who let the drunk driver go. His wife's killer. Yegor spent 5 years planning his revenge. And he met his daughter by chance? Not by chance. He was following Petrov's family. He knew about the wedding. He knew the route. Did he offer her a ride on purpose? Yes, he wanted to talk. Maybe he would have changed his mind. But Ivan ruined everything. How? Ivan escaped during the night. He attacked Elena. Yegor rushed to save her, but he was too late. She died. Andrei tried to protect his wife. Yegor killed him in a rage, and then he realized what he had done. And killed his brother? No, Ivan died on his own. Heart attack. Yegor held him in his arms. He cried, and then he grabbed his chest and died too. Heart attack. Final check. The experts reviewed the evidence. The nature of the wounds did indeed indicate that Elena was killed by one person and Andrei by another. The handwriting is different, the expert confirmed. Elena was killed chaotically, impulsively. Andrei was killed with precise blows, professionally. Did Yegor serve in the army? In Afghanistan, intelligence. The picture was becoming clearer, but Voronov felt that something else was hidden. Nikolai, one last question. Why did you confess now? You could have kept quiet. Volkov smiled wearily. I'm tired of living someone else's life. 25 years of being someone else. That punishment is worse than prison. In the morning, a package arrived at the investigation department. The sender was a notary from Krasnoyarsk. Yegor Tarasov left this with me in 1990. He told me to open it if an investigation began. Inside was a sealed envelope and an audio cassette. Voronov turned on the tape recorder. Yegor Tarasov's voice sounded tired. If you are listening to this, it means that the truth has come out. I did not kill the Sokolovs, but I am guilty of their deaths. This is my confession. Pause. Heavy breathing can be heard. On July 5, 1990, I received a letter, anonymous. It said that the daughter of investigator Petrov was traveling through Taishet. The route, the dates, everything. Someone wanted me to meet her. Voronov stopped the recording. Who could have known? Who sent Yegor? I didn't plan anything bad. I just wanted to see her, the daughter of the man who ruined my life. But when I saw her, she looked so much like my Maria when she was young. The real puppeteer. The letter in the envelope had an address, a house in Krasnoyarsk. Voronov went there immediately. The door was opened by an old man in a wheelchair, Pyotr Semyonovich Petrov, Elena's father. I've been waiting for you for 25 years, he said calmly. You knew? I arranged everything. Voronov couldn't believe his ears. You sent your own daughter to her death? Petrov shook his head. I sent her to Tarasov so that he would forgive her, so that he would see that she was not to blame for my sins. Did you know about Ivan? No, it was unexpected. The old man took out a folder. Inside were documents, photographs, letters. I kept an eye on Tarasov after his wife's death. I felt guilty. Yes, I let that driver go. He was the son of an important man. I was threatened. And you decided to sacrifice your daughter? I thought Yegor was a good man, that he would see Lena, talk to her, forgive her. I didn't know about his psychopathic brother. Ivan's diary. Another notebook was found among the items seized from the house. It was Ivan Tarasov's diary. The handwriting was uneven and disjointed. They came, demons, in the guise of young people, but I see their true faces. Yegor doesn't believe it. He says they're people, but I know. The woman is my mother. She came back to take us away. I must free her from her demonic shell. Then my mother will hug me. Last entry. Yegor is crying. He says I killed innocent people, but I see my mother. She is smiling. She is free. Voronov showed the diary to a psychiatrist. Classic psychosis. He really believed he was freeing his mother. And Yegor? Judging by the entries, he tried to stop him, but he was too late. Testimony of the real Volkov. On the 5th day of the investigation, there was a new twist. The man who called himself Nikolai Volkov changed his testimony again. I lied. Again? I'm not Nikolai Volkov. Voronov was tired of these games. Who are you? I'm Ivan Tarasov. The investigator looked at him silently. Ivan died of a heart attack. No, it was Yegor who died. I survived. I took his place. But you're sane. Ivan was mentally ill. The old man smiled bitterly. The shock of the murder cured me. When I saw what I had done, my mind cleared, for the first time in 5 years. Medical report. The psychiatric examination lasted a week. Conclusion: the man who called himself sometimes Volkov, sometimes Ivan, did indeed suffer from a mental disorder, but not schizophrenia. Dissociative identity disorder, explained the expert. Multiple personalities. One considers himself Yegor, another Ivan, and a third Volkov. Who is he really? A DNA test will show. The results came back 3 days later. The man in the cell was indeed Ivan Tarasov. Reconstruction of events. Voronov assembled a team. They needed to reconstruct the true picture of that night. Facts. Ivan Tarasov lived on the second floor. The Sokolovs slept downstairs. Yegor slept in the annex. Volkov, the vagrant, was in the shed. Version 1. Ivan went downstairs and attacked the Sokolovs. Yegor tried to stop him. Everyone except Ivan died in the fight. Version 2. Yegor killed the Sokolovs out of revenge. Ivan tried to stop him. Yegor died of a heart attack. Version 3. What if it was different? Suggested the young investigator. What if the killer wasn't from the house at all? An unexpected witness, Melnikov, released from custody, remembered an important detail. There was someone else there, definitely. Who? I don't know, but I saw a car, a black Volga. It was parked by the forest. Do you remember the license plate number? No, but there was a sticker on it. Krasnoyarsk City Executive Committee. Voronov froze. In 1990, investigator Petrov had a car like that. Are you sure? Yes, it was gone in the morning. Confrontation. Petrov Sr. was brought in for questioning. Ivan Tarasov shuddered when he saw him. Do you recognize him? Yes, he was there that night. Petrov remained silent. Pyotr Semyonovich, were you in Berezovka on July 16th? Yes. Why? I wanted to make sure Lena was okay. I watched from a distance. And? I saw Ivan going down to them with a knife. I tried to stop him. What happened next? Petrov closed his eyes. I was too late. Lena was already dead. Ivan was in a psychotic state. Andrei was trying to defend himself. I hit Ivan. He fell. I thought I had killed him. And Yegor? He came running with a gun. He saw the bodies. He saw me. He realized who I was. He pointed the gun at me. The truth about that night. Petrov spoke quietly but clearly. Yegor said, "It's all your fault. Your daughter. Your curse." I didn't argue. It's true. Did he shoot? No, he lowered the gun. He said, "Live with it." And he went into the house. What about Andrei? He died in my arms. He asked me to save Lena. He didn't know that she was already... Petrov fell silent. What happened next? Yegor came back. He brought shovels. He said, "We'll bury them. Together. This is our shared curse." The third corpse. Who was the third corpse? If Ivan is alive and Volkov is Ivan, then who was buried? Ivan Tarasov, who had been sitting silently, suddenly spoke up. It was a vagrant. He came to ask for food. He saw the bodies. He ran. Yegor caught up with him. He didn't want any witnesses. Did Yegor kill an innocent man? Yes, he hit him with a shovel. Then he was horrified. He clutched his heart. He fell. What did you do? Me? I woke up from my psychosis. I saw 4 corpses, and Petrov digging a grave. Why didn't you run away? Where to? I'm a fugitive psychopath. Who would believe me? A conspiracy of silence. Petrov confirmed Ivan's version. We agreed to keep quiet. I'll leave. He'll become Igor. We'll live with this burden. Why didn't you confess earlier? Cowardice, and Lena can't be brought back. Why destroy more lives? What about Andrei's parents? They had a right to know. Petrov lowered his head. I helped them anonymously. I sent money. But yes, that's no excuse. Yegor's note. A note was found in the pocket of the real Yegor Tarasov. He wrote it as he was dying. "Vanya, little brother, I'm sorry. I couldn't protect you. I couldn't save you. Live for both of us. Become me. Be better than me." Ivan cried as he read it. "I tried. For 25 years I tried to be him. I raised pigs. I helped my neighbors. But every night I saw their faces." New evidence investigators found Petrov's hiding place. In it were detailed notes about how he followed Tarasov and planned the meeting. Yegor must see that children are not responsible for the sins of their fathers. Sent an anonymous letter. I hope he'll just talk to her. I'm following, just in case. Last entry. I couldn't protect my own daughter. I don't deserve forgiveness. Final interrogation. Ivan, one last question. Why did you keep the Sokolovs' belongings? I couldn't throw them away. They're all that's left from that night, when Yegor died, when I became myself. Yourself? Yes, the psychosis is gone, but the pain has come. Real pain, human pain. Yegor was right. It's worse than illness. What now? Prison? Fine. I'm tired of pretending. Sentence. The trial lasted a month. Ivan Tarasov received 5 years for harboring a fugitive and forging documents. Considering his age and health, the sentence was suspended. Petrov received a 3-year suspended sentence for harboring. The two old men left the courtroom and shook hands silently. Epilogue. Voronov stood in the cemetery. The Sokolovs were reburied nearby. Andrei's parents and Elena's sister came to the funeral. Ivan Tarasov sold the farm. He moved to a nursing home. Petrov died 6 months later. Heart attack. The last piece of evidence lay on the investigator's desk. A photograph from that film. Number 36. But it wasn't Yegor tied up. In the photo, Ivan is taking a picture of himself in the mirror. His face is filled with horror, a moment of insight, when the madness receded and he saw what he had done. Voronov put the photo in a folder. The case was closed, but questions remained. Can someone who killed in a moment of madness be forgiven? Can someone atone for another's death with their own life? Is it possible to live with such a burden? The old sow Tarasova still lived on the farm with her new owners. Sometimes she dug the ground near the old barn. It was as if she sensed that deep down, secrets were still hidden there. The final truth. A year after the trial, Voronov received a letter. It was from Ivan Tarasov. It was short. I lied one last time. Ivan really did die that night. I am Yegor, but I have lived these years as Ivan, as punishment for not protecting my brother, for leading innocent people to their deaths. Let this secret die with me. Voronov burned the letter. Some secrets must remain secrets. The Sokolov case is officially closed. The guilty have been punished. But in Berezovka, people still say that sometimes on July nights, voices can be heard at Tarasov's old hut. Young, happy voices. As if those two are still looking for their way home. What do you think? Who was the man who lived someone else's life for 25 years? Yegor, who punished himself by becoming a murderer? Ivan, who was cured of his madness? Or Volkov, a random witness who took advantage of the situation? The truth is buried with them.